How strong is Toji in terms of Sukuna's fingers? And what about some of the other members of the cast? Well, we're going to talk about that and a bunch of other questions, mainly revolving around Toji, that I've gotten from you guys. So let's dive into it. Alrighty, y'all. Our first question is going to be anime friendly. That's why we're putting it up front. But after that point, we will have to dive into manga stuff, so you've been warned. But our first question comes to us from Mike, and he wants to know if Mahito's idol transfiguration would work on someone like Toji. And yeah, in my opinion, it would, because at the end of the day, Toji still has a soul, and idol transfiguration manipulates the soul. Just because he's heavenly restricted, just because he doesn't have cursed energy, doesn't mean he's immune to the effects of it. Just look at Gojo's Hollow Purple, right? So I do think Toji is extremely durable, and it would probably take Mahito maybe a few applications of idol transfiguration, just like he couldn't, take out Nanami in one hit due to protecting his soul. Similarly, I think Toji's going to be a little bit more durable, if you will, even in terms of his soul, than say like the average Joe or the average sorcerer. So yeah, it would still work, but in a hypothetical matchup, I still think Toji just absolutely slams Mahito. And then while we're on the subject of Mahito really quick, I got asked by Ralph if Mahito could possibly come back even though he got absorbed by Kenjaku. And no, he can't, because he doesn't even exist as a curse that Kenjaku can summon anymore, because he used him in Maximum Uzumaki, that blast he sent against Miwa, in order to extract Mahito's idol transfiguration to use for himself, which he then used, to do that ritual at the end of season 2. So Mahito is now gone forever, until he maybe would one day re-manifest as a disaster curse. But that's another conversation. This Mahito that we know is gone forever. Alright, just a reminder, we are in manga spoiler territory now, but I had Crimson Reaper and Hassan both ask me if I could scale Toji in terms of Sukuna Fingers and a few other members of the cast. But here's what I'll say. First, I'm not a power scaler, so take what I say with a grain of salt. But second, I don't think the Sukuna finger metric is a good way to rank people. And that's because even at a low amount of fingers, Sukuna is still an absolute problem. One finger Sukuna still has Malevolent Shrine. He still has his entire arsenal. He still has his entire intelligence. All he gets from more fingers, seemingly, is more access to his overall cursed energy pool, which of course is going to make him more powerful, but the fact remains that a one-finger Sukuna opening Malevolent Shrine takes out the majority of the cast not named Gojo. So I think it would be better just to rank people in general and not compare them to Sukuna fingers, because if we say, so-and-so is worth 10 fingers of Sukuna, I don't think they can beat 10 fingers Sukuna. Does that make sense? So I know you asked for Sukuna fingers, but that's such an impossible metric. Because again, I really think like 3-finger Sukuna bodies most of the cast. So I hope you guys are okay with this, but I'm just going to give you a generalized ranking of these characters instead of comparing them to fingers. Alright, so I actually went and found one of those tier list generators online to make this a bit simpler, but a couple of things first. Again, we're not ranking based on Sukuna's fingers for the reasons I just said, but also these letter grades aren't important. I'm not saying that, Megami and Ino are D tier in the verse. They're just D tier compared to everyone else in this ranking. And so the people that are in this ranking are the people that are still around right now in the manga. And no one say anything about Gojo, okay? He's coming back. But yeah, let's get into it. Oh, also the Bear and Nobra are representative of Hakari and Uruume because they weren't in this tier list generator. But up at the top, we got Gojo and Sukuna, the pinnacle, on a level that no one else can even touch or is even close to, honestly, which is why I decided to skip the entire row after them. That's just how much of a difference there is. Next, we've got Toji, Maki, Yuji, Akotsu, Kenjaku, Hakari, and Uruume. I think all of those people are pretty relative, at least enough to be in the same tier, but there's obviously strength differentials between them. Now, the reason Toji is so high is because of Maki's feats. Now, we're going to specifically talk about the comparison between Toji and Maki after this, because I got asked that specifically as well, but that's why he's so high. I think Maki has shown that they are a problem. I mean, we already knew that Toji beats a ton of people in this verse, but Maki has taken it next level recently. Now, Yuji is up here, and I think Yuji might even be inching up higher as this manga goes. I've made videos about it. Our boy is going to get the MC treatment soon. He's already had a massive power up in this time skip. He's got RCT. He's got blood manipulation. We're just going to have to see what else he's got. Akotsu and the rest, they honestly don't need an explanation. They're obviously just the most powerful, not named Gojo and Sukuna here. Choso, I'm mocking down a little bit. Mei Mei as well, we know she's powerful, but I don't think she's on the other level until we see more from her. If she trained in the time skip like everybody else, then she's probably up there as well. And Kusakabe, man, he's obviously him, Kusakabe Kaisen, but without a curse technique, and until we see what he's got against Sukuna, I think those three belong on the lower tier. And then, no disrespect to Ino, but like we just really haven't seen anything from him yet, so I think he's down here at the bottom. As well as Megami, no shade, but Megami did not get to train in the month time skip like everybody else did, which they seemingly cheated to train a lot somehow, right? Another video that I've made if you're interested on more context there. But he is definitely at the bottom. And again, maybe I should bump Ino up, but you know, till we see something from him, he's there. So again, I apologize for not specifically ranking based on the Sukuna's fingers, but if you want to just equate fingers to these rows, you know, there you go. But as I said, I just don't like the Sukuna finger comparison. And that leads us into our next question of who's stronger, Maki or Toji? Like I just said, Toji was up as high in that tier list as he is because of what Maki is doing. That's not to detract from Toji. He's obviously a beast. I mean, Maki is compared to him by Gege, right? So Toji is obviously him, but we just didn't get to see the actual feats from him. All we got to see was his fight with Teen Gojo and Geto, right? And in that fight, he admits that he is rusty and out of his prime. So that's not even his max potential. Whereas we get to see a Maki presumably at her max potential in this Sukuna fight. So her feats are more impressive, and by that metric, I think we gotta go with her because she actually did it, and it's not just conceptual, right? But that being said, I do fully believe that Toji would be capable of everything Maki is. The difference might just be that Maki has way better motivation to like train and get stronger and accomplish her missions. Toji was just kind of lackadaisical, you know, he did it for gambling money. Like he didn't really have the purpose associated to pull out his max potential, where Maki clearly does. So I do give the edge to Maki, but I do think Toji has that potential within him. Next up, I got asked by Kashimo Low Diffs Yuta, what if somebody like Toji or Maki were to eat one of Sukuna's fingers? So here's what I'll say. They have a heavenly restriction, which means they have no cursed energy, right? So seemingly those two things wouldn't compute. However, I just recently put out a video on what if Yuji has a heavenly restriction, which I personally think it looks like he does. But go check out that video for like the full context, and it will shed some more light on my answer here. But what I'll say is if Toji or Maki could theoretically successfully eat the finger, then I think they would get cursed energy and would probably retain their heavenly restriction. Because, for example, we saw with Mekamaru, Mahito basically erased the detriment for his heavenly restriction in giving him a new body, and Mekamaru seemingly didn't lose the benefits of his heavenly restriction. There is some argument there, some gray area, because we're never fully told, but in my opinion, Mekamaru still had his heavenly restricted benefits. So I think if you could somehow loophole the system and give Toji cursed energy, he would retain his heavenly restriction. The argument against this is, well, wait, Maki had cursed energy and she didn't have her full heavenly restriction. But that's different because that was a product of being a twin and being born that way, right? I think that like she always had cursed energy, and that's why the heavenly restriction like never was online until Mai passed away and took it away. Then it was online. So you may say not a difference, but to me there is an important nuance there. So all that being said though, if he ate the finger, I think he would die. I think it would poison and kill him because as we're told, that's what happens to 99% of people. Maybe the heavenly restriction makes him more resistant to the poison, but I think that's what makes Yuji unique. I think he was capable of eating the finger, and so that's why even if he has a heavenly restriction, he was also able to get some cursed energy. So if Toji could eat the finger, I think he would just get stronger, but I think the finger would kill him. Alrighty, y'all, that's going to do it for this one. Thank you so much for the support and for the great questions. There were some ones I could really sink my teeth into, so I'm excited to hear what y'all have to say about it in the comments, but I will see you in the next one.